can't agree more with Larry. I think any successful campaigns, crowdfunding campaigns, is a concerted effort. Right? Crowdfunding is not that different from marketing, even though the goal is public funding. But it's actually great campaigns. It's a great marketing campaign, right? Meaning that before you launch the campaign, there's a lot of foundational work you've done. Right? For example, you probably have like Discord groups, you have social media, all fired up, right? You want as many people to know that you're doing crowdfunding. That's why it's called crowdfunding, right? You want to get as big a crowd as possible. And also, all the strong believers, your customers, investors, right? Your friends and family, it's not that different from fundraising. The seed stage, it's getting everyone motivated. It takes a village to do a really successful crowdfunding campaign.
Amazing. Let's talk a little bit about where to crowdfund, right? So how do you pick a platform? And I know you're both biased, but how do you look at all the different ones and decide which one is right for the amount of money you want to raise, the product that you're launching? Is it more cash that you're looking for or marketing? How do you think about that?
I would say first is the whole idea of going on a crowdfunding platform is to get a lot of reach. Like you get easy access to the crowd who will come and see your campaign. So you should definitely pick probably the top two in terms of just traffic they have on the website. If you go to Alexa and check, actually there are a bunch of tools where you check the kind of visitors the platform is really pulling, right? So number one is to see that they do have a lot of traffic on their website, a lot of users coming to look at different kind of crowdfunding campaigns. Number two is the cost. Excuse me. Number two is the cost. Cost is extremely important because your crowdfunding platforms can charge you anywhere from 0 to 20%. So you got to make sure that what you're paying for, you're getting at least multi-fold value back in return. So evaluate all of them based on the kind of cost and of course the features and the service that they're giving you, even if you're paying for some. Third is if it's a global proposition, to look at even categories in which there is global competition, right? Because if you see a crowdfunding platform where in a specific category that you want to go list yourself, if there are lots of global players, that might make it very hard for you to compete because this just increases the choice a user has in terms of selecting which campaign they want to support. So you also want to make sure that it's not an extremely competitive category when you pick your crowdfunding platform.
I think you've already covered it fairly thoroughly. Just a couple more points. One is actually crowdfunding, you want to know whether the platform has success in raising funding for other companies, especially similar companies, and especially the type of products you're selling, right? If it's, whether you are trying to raise debt funding, then you go to debt platform, you go to equity or reward-based, and you want to select the right platform that specializes in that area, right? The other thing is actually, end of the day, I think you wanted to have more liquidity on the platform, but it's a balance, right? Oftentimes you go to the biggest platform, but because you are upstart, you don't have the reputation, it's very hard to compete with larger fundraisers, fundraising companies. Therefore, sometimes it might be a better idea to go for not the top tier, but the second tier, and they treat you as a VIP, and they get all the investors to your campaign. That's also a kind of an interesting strategy you can use. So at the end of the day, typically when you go on a crowdfunding platform, you do talk to the team, right? You get an understanding of how they promote you, how they treat you. I think then you can make an educated decision where to go.
Awesome. Would love to talk a little bit about sort of how to think about legal, right? How to think about whether you're doing cross-border or not. Do you just sort of read the FAQ on the site and hope for the best, or do you need to work with a special crowdfunding lawyer? It seems like that's an area that can go really, really wrong for companies.
Yeah, I feel like that's extremely important because if you don't do the compliance, you go to the paperwork, you find somebody who's willing to give money, the blowback is terrible. I've seen entrepreneurs really struggle and get caught in different